welcome back. My name is Marcus Boles, President and CEO of Customized Minds. Thank you for tuning in, being here, getting some more great information with the goal of inspiring and empowering you to be the best you possible. So let's get straight to it and hit our topic of what we're talking about on today. Today, we are going to be talking about imbalanced life. So we are all moving forward. We're all moving towards goals, and they are in different buckets and different areas of life. So I'm going to help you identify how to have a balanced life and what an imbalanced life looks like. And unfortunately, many of us are living an imbalanced life really because of this one principle. The one principle that causes people to live an imbalanced life is not understanding that life is a journey. It is not a sprint. See, when you peel back the layers in the metaphor of peeling back the layers of an onion, you see that there is a layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. So life is that same way. You have life that happens in certain segments, and you cannot get what you are doing in your maybe 50 to 60 year segment when you are 20 to 30. You may be having some of those same results, but it takes time, and time must pass in order to get to your 50 to 60 time zone from your 20 to 30 time zone of your life. And I'm talking about in years. See, when you understand that you have to make the best of every day, that every day is compounded, and compounded in order to see the results of the so-called tomorrow, which is really only the next day or really today, you have to put in the work to get there. You don't just wake up and miraculously one day all of your dreams, your goals, your passions are fulfilled. It doesn't work that way. You have to go through 365 one time. That's 1 year. You have to go through 365 another time. That's 2 years. You have to go through 365 again. That's 3 years. You have to spend those days. You have to spend those hours. You have to spend those moments. I know it sounds cliche. This is not any new information that you don't know, but we live in a world that is so microscope that all around you, you are bombarded with things that you don't have, that you haven't accomplished yet, that you have not seen, that you have not done, that you have not been able to achieve. And that is okay, because your story is still being written. You're looking at other people's stories that already have been written, that particular chapter, that particular page. There's nothing to say that you won't have a similar story or similar lines in your book that you are looking at that person about their story, but you have to write them. See, you can't just wake up and, oh, I want to be a rock star tomorrow. No, you have to get booed off stage. You have to build a brand. You have to spend hours upon hours in the studio. You have to do all of that stuff that it takes to be a rock star. It just doesn't happen overnight. And for those that you do see it happen for overnight, quote unquote, how many of them are still around? I know, because they did not go through the process. Life is a journey. It is a process, and you must put in the time, you must put in the work, and I guarantee you, you do not want to try to take any shortcuts. There's nothing wrong with being more efficient, proactive, and efficient with your time. Nothing wrong with that at all. Those are not shortcuts. But when you try to cheat, when you try to look for shortcuts, when you try to avoid or get out of the necessities of what it takes to achieve what you achieve, you're only setting yourself up to fail even bigger, but more importantly, you are setting yourself up for unsustainable success, which ultimately leads into an unbalanced life. So here's the point. An unbalanced life looks like this. Most people, they want to have a family, they want to have a successful career or business, they want to have an impact on their community, they want to do all of the common life stuff and have a balanced life. But here's where the challenge comes into play. You have to balance all of those areas. You have to balance time with your family. You have to balance time with your business or career. You have to balance time with your community service efforts and making an impact. You have to balance time in these areas of the so-called balanced life. But if you are solely focused on, I want to make sure that my business is a multi-million-dollar business by 25, and you have it in your mind and your heart that you are willing to risk and put everything and sacrifice everything to achieve that goal, such as not spending enough time with your family, not spending enough time in your community, making an impact on people's lives, or the other areas that you have identified to live a balanced life. Yeah, you may get there by 25, but look at the rest of your life. It's in shambles. Your wife or spouse has divorced you and has taken the kids to maybe live with and remarry with another man or woman. Your community is maybe not being supportive of your business or your goals, but yes, your customers and your business partners are, but the whole reason why you started the business was to impact your local community, but they aren't supporting you. You may not be able to spend time with your parents and provide for them and be there for them maybe in their last days, which was the whole reason why you started your career and your business. And then when you finally retire, you look back on your life and you're like, yeah, I was successful in this one area, but the rest of my life had heartache, had pain, had strife, had stress, was just in shambles. Well, it's because you chose to live an unbalanced life. You chose to try to hit that goal in those 25 years, maybe 5 years by age 25, that you neglected and chose to ignore the other areas of what you had originally identified as your balanced life. And it's because you thought life, really achieving your goal in your business or your career, was about a sprint. And it's not. It's about a marathon. The ones that truly succeed, the super achievers that have the most balanced life, they may hit their goal a little bit later in their careers or for their business, but their family is there with them. They may hit their goals a little bit later in business or their career, but their community 100% supports them. They may hit their goal of their business or their careers a little bit later, but their parents are proud of them and they have been there with them every step of the way. Now, I just use a couple areas. You identify your own areas of life, but the principle is you will live an unbalanced life if you try to run this thing at 1,000 miles an hour and not expecting to hit any walls, expecting everything else to be perfect and only allow you to focus on this one area. I'm sorry, my friends, you will ultimately end up like so many lessons, like so many stories that we have seen before of massively succeeding and winning in one area. But when you peel back the curtains, the rest of the areas of their life are in ruins. And they will tell you they wish they would have done it different. They wish those other areas were just as successful or even come down a little bit down on the success plateau to have some of those other areas be a little bit closer. So I hope you're getting the message. You are a super achiever. You have been put here to inspire and empower others, but live a balanced, a healthy, a productive life and understand this is a marathon that we're running here. Your average age is going to be about 80 years old. So if you're 30, you still have a good chunk of time left. So don't necessarily take your time, but be efficient, proactive, compound each day, and do not neglect the other areas of your life. So when you do achieve that goal, your purpose of what you were put here to do, you have people, you have things, you have your community, you have your family, you have your parents to enjoy it with. So, hey, as as I always say, you have what you say now. If you believe it now, it's yours to have right now, today, in this lifetime. The power of life and death is in the tongue. More importantly, in the mind. But first, you must believe in the heart. Take care. See you soon. All right.